All right, so it's now time to review trading activities at the Nigerian Exchange Limited. And my colleague and market editor, Effiong Ekop, joins me now. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So what's the state of the market now?
The bulls are still dominating activities within the market sector and influencing securities prices in the upwards direction. Investors are very happy, going to the bank and then taking profits from their investments. All eyes look to so many of the sectors, especially those big companies that have ability to reward investors at the end of operations. And so we look up to those companies, especially they pay dividend twice a year. And any moment from now, investors will harvest all of that. Yes, so many. The market is really is robusting, I tell you.
It actually shows because we've had several growth within just within this January.
Exactly. So even this year alone, from the first till now, the market has grown by about 6%. And then the total value of quoted securities, including equities, bonds, ETF of the market, if you put all of them together, market has about 106 trillion naira. That's a huge one, even with the depreciation of the naira.
So where are investors showing interest now?
In so many of the sectors, because we've seen growth, in many of them. But if you want to really pinpoint banking securities, financial securities, as that include banks and insurance, they are really very popular with investors because they are relatively very cheap if you compare to manufacturing companies or telecom stocks, that the prices have gone very, very high. There are some companies at the exchange that, a single unit of stock that you want to buy, you bring out more than 1,500 naira to buy.
Yeah.
Some of them 800, 600. So it's really a time that investors are thinking big. And we are also taking input from our citizens outside the country. So when they bring in foreign currencies, that will even be cheaper. And so they soup on large quantities, of shares of companies.
All right. So can the market sustain this bullish run?
Yes. It can. Since December, Christmas time till now, we've never experienced any negative trend each day since we started the new year. And it will continue for some time. Even between now and March, we expect that market will always be looking, upward. Why? The banks, that's the industry, they have closed their register by December that we ended. And the CBN expects them from about February, March, to begin to bring out their annual reports and show to the market. Then there are some of them that investors really suspect and have interest that they will do very well. And so right now, they are positioning, in the stocks of such companies. The reward system will show any moment from February, March, April. That's when even investors will be harvesting so much. And there is expectation that the banks have to conclude their recapitalization by March. So when you see the balance sheets or the kind of cash in the vaults of a particular bank, you may move in that direction. So all looking in different directions, we see that market is positioning itself for positive activities.
So what are your expectations for the market?
Expectation is that we will see many people come into the market, and we will see the banks concluding what they are doing, and then we know those, of course, many of them that will have these huge funds. And we are also expecting that Dangote Group will influence so many things in the market this year. So when the fertilizer company and the refinery from the group are listed in the markets this year, according to what they have told us, you expect that the market capitalization, which I told you currently at 106 trillion, it may double. There's possibility. Yeah. And so what we advise that as you are, keep your money, prepare very well, and then come to the market and you will buy. The stocks really are there for you to buy. We have so many companies that if you cannot buy from here, you can buy from the other one. The expectation is great.
Okay, so we've seen the top gainers. They are gainers at the market. Red Star X, NCR, SCOA, Omatech,
yes, Nimek,
Deep Cap.
And Deep Capital.
Deep Capital.
Yeah. There are others that are, coming in between, but the ones you've mentioned that we've seen, they are the 5 of them. Normally we take top 5 gainers or, top losers for the deal. Then these ones that we have mentioned, you can see that the big companies, the big names, they do not feature.
Yes, because the losers include Zenith Bank, Jais Bank, surprisingly. NSL Tech, Access Core, Lasaco.
All of those companies you mentioned, their fundamentals, they remain the same. In a daily trade, they will, at the end of it, when the market closes, you will see some companies that, a little fraction is up on their stock price or down. That's when we grade and say losing and then gaining. But generally, the growth of a company does not really depend on, the daily, loss or gain. It is over a long period of time, the cumulative calculation, then you now know, it is down. But in recent times, we've not had seen company stock that's really, crashed. You understand? So they are on the
So
average.
whatever the case, investors will still make their gains.
Certainly. But don't forget, you can also burn your fingers playing the stock market. If you do not do your research very well, then you follow the market, listen to what is happening, watch the companies that you are interested in. You don't just invest anyhow. If you do so, you will lose money. That's the reason the stockbrokers are there. They guide you. Somebody that knows how the market operates, you have to befriend that person, get information, let him direct you. Outside that, you may not like the market.
All right. Market editor, Effiong Ekop, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure,
for talking to us.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so let's move on to crude oil prices. Now, crude oil prices fell in Asian trade today, extending losses from the previous session as concerns about supply risk eased after the likelihood of a U.S. strike on Iran receded. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude rose to $59.22 per barrel, with an uptick of 0.05%. Brent crude futures sells at $63.75, with a price decline of 0.02%. Body light sells at $78.62 per barrel, with a price decline of 2.84%. For the OPEC basket, dealers offer $63.30 per barrel, with an upward price margin of 0.83%.